Coming up on Cardinals Insider, the picks are in.
The St. Louis Cardinals select JJ Wetherholt, a shortstop from West Virginia University.
We recap some of the biggest moments from the Cardinals 2024 draft. Plus, how many of this year's Cardinals are homegrown? Find out in just a bit. And later, it's the 20th anniversary of the 2004 season. Catch up with the National League champs as they return to St. Louis.
It's good to get back with all the guys and catch up. And a lot of the guys, some of these guys we haven't seen in 20 years.
All that and more ahead on a brand new Cardinals Insider. Welcome to Cardinals Insider. I'm Ozzie Smith. The 2024 Major League Draft unfolded during the All-Star break. Here's some highlights, including the Cardinals' highest pick in decades.
With the 7th pick of the 2024 MLB Draft, the St. Louis Cardinals select JJ Wetherholt, a shortstop from West Virginia University.
What our group liked about JJ is his well-roundedness. He dealt with a little bit of injury, and so he was not able to show his entire skill set for the entire season. But as he got healthier and healthier at the end of the year, he showed someone who has really good athleticism defensively. Additionally, a left-handed swing who knows the zone. A very difficult hitter to strike out or to get to expand. But he pairs that with knowing how to do damage. And when he gets his pitch, he's someone who unleashes with intent and is not someone who exclusively looks to make contact. But independent from the baseball skills, which we are enamored with, I think as Cardinals fans get a chance to get to know JJ and hear him discuss his story with the media and his journey, I think he's someone that loves this game, that wants to improve, and wants to make an impact on and off the field.
Led Division I baseball his sophomore year at West Virginia with a .449 batting average, Big 12 Player of the Year. Many believe he's the best pure hitter in this draft class.
You're looking for small things, intangibles, and one of them is how someone will handle adversity. And you can imagine someone who was maybe 1-1 going into the spring and then gets hurt, and how they handle it, and how they bounce back, and what type of quotes they give, and what kind of teammate they are. And everything, the reports that we got and saw was that he handled that superbly. But additionally, in today's age, oftentimes with the portal and other opportunities and NIL money available, you're seeing that players will hop from college to college. And that might be the right answer for them. And I don't mean that that's the wrong answer if they do that. But for JJ, I think it was very attractive. He was also very loyal. He was very loyal to West Virginia. He knew that they were the team that took a chance on him first. And he knew that he wanted to do something special for them his junior year. And that was very attractive as well.
I think it's a great pick for them. All the way across the board, he fits everything they're about.
St. Louis has a long tradition of raising homegrown talent. That includes many names on the 2024 roster.
The Cardinals Player Development Program has been working for generations to create and promote homegrown talent within the organization. The 2024 active Major League roster features 13 homegrown Cardinals. Let's take a closer look. Cardinals draft history has produced plenty of stars over the years, and what makes 2024 such an impressive year is the large quantity that made the opening day roster. Together, they have a combined 53 big league seasons, 7 combined all-star selections, and there's also a lot of diversity in these picks. Nolan Gorman, Mason Wynn, Lance Lynn, Alec Burleson were all first and second round draft picks, while there's also some later rounders, and even international signings, including Ivan Herrera.
Line into right center field, that's gonna roll for a while. It's a triple for Mason Wynn with 1 out.
Shortstop Mason Wynn broke camp with the club and has had quite the rookie season. He currently leads the Cardinals with 29 hits versus left-handed pitchers and is the first rookie with a 100-hit season since 2021. Homegrown pitchers include reliever Chris Roycroft, closer and 2-time All-Star Ryan Helsley, and starters Lance Lynn and Andre Palante. Backstops include Ivan Herrera and Pedro Pajes. The Cardinals rookie backstop owns the second longest hitting streak in Cardinals history by a rookie catcher. There are two veterans on the 2024 homegrown roster, Matt Carpenter and Lance Lynn. Lynn and Carpenter both have 2011 World Series rings. They also won the National League pennant in 2013. The Cardinals farm system is important in a variety of ways, not only to transition championship players to the major leagues, but to acquire talent for years to come. For Cardinals Insider, I'm Emily Stevens.
Straight ahead on Cardinals Insider, revisit one of the best seasons in Cardinals history.
You start to realize, hey man, 20 years since you were last, this team last played together, and you're like, oh, it's kind of long.
Stay with us. The 2004 Cardinals won 105 games en route to the National League pennant. They fell short in the World Series, but they're still widely considered one of the best teams in club history. And they returned to Busch Stadium on July 27th for the 20th year anniversary.
It was wonderful. I wish we would have won 4 more games, but at the end of the day, we ran into a buzzsaw in the Red Sox, and it was just their time, unfortunately. But it was a great time in my life and something I'll never forget.
It's the same thing, I grew up a Cardinal fan to where when I got traded over here, put that jersey on there with the Cardinal fans to where you ran through that gate or you walked in the clubhouse, you was always welcome, and that kind of takes the pressure off to where if you do your job, they're going to support you. Even if you don't, but if you're trying, you still got support from the fans to where you turn the page yesterday, coming today, it's a new day, and that's what we did. Well, you just walk out, and as soon as you walk through that tunnel and go up to the steps and you see the stadium and see the fans to where, I tell everybody, no matter what it is, if it's 30 degrees outside, 110 with 100% humidity, we had 40, 50,000 people in the stands, and with that, it made you want to play better.
Being a part of a team because, you go into spring training and you grinding every day and you grind and you're playing against other professional guys, and to be able to get deep in the playoffs into the World Series, you work hard for those things. But at the same time, it's good to get back with all the guys and catch up. And a lot of the guys, some of these guys we haven't seen in 20 years, but we pick right back where we left off, and that's the great thing about it. Trying to take in all the love, the hard work you put into the game, because all these guys play the game because they love it, You're in situations to be able to provide for your family, but you love the game, so you go out and work hard for it. And one of the things about the Cardinals fans, if you play hard, they're going to love you. And when they show that, it's just a great feeling.
Oh, I love it. It's one of the highlights of the year. And you start to realize, hey man, 20 years since you were last, this team last played together, and you're like, oh, it's kind of long, But I enjoy it because you don't get the opportunities to be in one place and talk and catch up and talk the game and talk what's going on in baseball. And so I really enjoy it, and most do, and so I look forward to it.
Coming up, find out what Fernando Valenzuela has to do with the Cardinals.
Started with the Dodgers, and his last big league club was with the Cardinals.
That's after the break. Did you know Fernando Valenzuela was a Cardinal? His last 5 appearances came in St. Louis in 1997. It was the end of a 17-year career which thrust Mexican baseball onto the international stage. Cardinals broadcaster Polo Asensio was born in Tijuana, Mexico, and grew up in Southern California, giving him a great perspective on what Valenzuela means to the game and its Mexican fans.
This story is a little interesting because a lot of people forget that Fernando Valenzuela played for the St. Louis Cardinals. For me, growing up in Tijuana, Mexico, I grew up a Padre fan. But then when Fernando came in 1981, started doing big things with the Dodgers, like seriously, Mexico will stop. Whenever he pitched, everybody stops. Restaurants filled, movie theaters filled, houses filled to see this one Mexican making history in the big leagues. So he looked like me, he sounded like me, and he's a lefty, I'm a righty. I even tried, but it didn't work out. So for me, with all due respect to every single great Cardinal over the years, the story and the history behind Fernando started with the Dodgers, and his last big league club was with the Cardinals. He just looked different. He didn't look like a baseball player. He looked different. He sounded different. He pitched different. And more than the way of pitching, the way he broke barriers. When you have a kid, 19, 20, 21-year-old, basically coming from nothing, playing next to a bullpen, a real bullpen, not like the ones we have in St. Louis with bulls and cows and just dirt everywhere, and then come to the big leagues, obviously a couple of years in the minor leagues, and did what he did in LA, one of the biggest cities in the world with all the bright lights. He didn't let that face him. And the story goes that he started the opening day in 1981 for the Dodgers in an emergency role because the starter got sick the day of the game. So Tommy Lasorda goes up to Fernando and tells him, hey, you're gonna start for me today because Jay Royce, he is sick, he cannot pitch. Can you go? I can go. Complete game shutout of the Astros. There was a few players before Fernando, obviously. Aurelio Rodriguez, a third baseman that played with the Yankees. Beto Avila, a champion bat in the 50s with the then Indians, now Guardians of Cleveland, with the team of Cleveland. So we knew there was a chance for Mexicans to play in the big leagues. But when Fernando came in, he just said, no, there's not only a chance, we can do this. We can do this, and that changed the mindset of a lot of little kids like myself that gave us the chance to dream about something, dream big. There's people that they didn't like baseball, but hey, mi paisano mexicano va pichar hoy. He's gonna pitch today. Kids, come over, see this guy. You see, he's from Mexico. You're Mexican. You can be like that. You can do that. Even though kids that have perhaps never been to Mexico, they were born here because of Mexican parents, when they see that, when they saw that, the inspiration was there for them.
Third baseman Whitey Kowski was a mainstay for the 1940s Cardinals. And while he might not be the best known player from that era, he served an important role during a decade which produced 3 world championships.
The 1940s Cardinals are one of the best eras not just in club history, but baseball history. Populated with pennants, world championships, and names like Musial, Schoendienst, and Slaughter. The 40s Redbirds won 4 National League crowns and 3 World Series. While he might not be the first name that you think of, Whitey Kowski was as integral a part as anyone to the success of the famed St. Louis Swifties.
Kowski hits a grounder to Stevens, who tosses wide to second. They're safe all around.
He played all 9 of his major league seasons for St. Louis, becoming a 5-time All-Star. Called up alongside Stan Musial in September 1941, Stan the Man overshadowed Kowski, punishing the National League with a .426 average. But Kowski was no easy out himself, hitting at a .333 clip. The next season, the pair of rookies continued to perform well. Kowski shined in the Fall Classic in '42, driving in 5 runs, including the decisive blow, swatting a game-winning 9th-inning homer off of future Hall of Famer Red Ruffing in game number 5.
By Ruffing, here's the pitch. Kowski swings and drives one deep left field, going. It is gone! In there for a home run for Whitey Kowski.
The Cardinals locked up a 4-1 series victory over the Yankees as Kowski fired the opening salvo for an American sports dynasty. Kowski was a long shot to make the big leagues in the first place. As a child, he had an infection in his right arm that caused 4 inches of his right ulna to have to be removed. That's the longer of the 2 bones in your forearm. Well, because of that, he could never really effectively cover the outside part of the zone. To compensate, he simply crowded the plate and leaned into becoming a proficient pull hitter.
Whitey Kowski followed with a double against the left field wall.
That approach worked for 916 career games to the tune of a .286, .366, .455 slash line. He drove in 529 runs with 925 career hits. His best year came in 1945, a 4.8 WAR with a .323 average, 21 homers, and 102 driven in. He coupled all that with a sure-handed track record at third. Kowski was famous for repeating a simple motto to his teammates. He would say, "Let's be putting we ahead of I," becoming a true clubhouse leader. Not the most famous Swiftie, but a franchise great all the same. A career which now has him cast in bronze among the greatest Cardinals ever. For Cardinals Insider, I'm Brett McMillan.
And still to come, we look back on Scott Rolen's induction into the Cardinals Hall of Fame.
So it's truly an honor to represent in that St. Louis Cardinals uniform the birds on the bat for this organization.
Last summer, Scott Rolen was inducted into the National Baseball Hall of Fame. But in 2019, he joined the Red Jacket Club and delivered an emotional speech. It's one of the best moments in a decade worth of Cardinal Hall of Fame speeches.
So I was in Philadelphia and was traded to the St. Louis Cardinals in 2002. This organization, guys, it's first class. Everything's first class. We can look around it. We can look up on stage. They take care of all of our families, all of our friends, and you treat us like family. You welcome us into your family, and that's special to us, especially to our wives and our kids when we're traveling around the country. So it's truly an honor to represent in that St. Louis Cardinals uniform, the birds on the bat for this organization. So thank you, St. Louis Cardinals, top to bottom. But I go back and I realize how lucky I am to be able to have played in this city and this organization. Played for a Hall of Fame manager my entire career here. We had Executive of the Year awards go to Walt Jocketty and the St. Louis Cardinals every year. Cy Young Award winner. We have Gold Gloves all over the field, All-Stars all over the field, and St. Louis Cardinal Hall of Famers that are running out there every single night. It's a big team effort, there isn't any question, but we were put in a situation to succeed. I'll move to the fans now, obviously. You guys, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable what you do. I said it yesterday at one of our things, it's a celebration of baseball in this city every day that none of us take for granted. You invite us into your living rooms, into your homes, and you let your children and your families wear our names on your family's back. We do not take that for granted 1 second. So thank you, St. Louis Cardinal fans.
When we return, I'm answering one of your questions. It's Ask Ozzie, and it's up next. It's time for this week's Ask Ozzie. Eli in Las Vegas, Nevada asked, who's the best hitter you've ever seen? Well, that's not hard at all. Tony Gwynn was probably the best hitter that I ever had to play defense against. He was one of those players that was magical with a bat in his hand and could place the ball anywhere he wanted to. So it's very easy. Tony Gwynn was probably the best hitter I ever had to face. Tony was one of the first guys that I knew that started studying video. You can study video, but you still have to understand it. And he had a great understanding of how to get the bat in a certain angle to be able to hit it between the third baseman and the shortstop, or be able to pull the ball. And I think one of the things with Tony is he probably could have hit with a lot more power, but he knew that his value was in being able to use the whole field, which he did, and he did it very effectively. And one of the guys that I hated seeing come to the plate when the game was on the line. You know, we got a chance to spend a lot of all-star games together, and you know, I can remember one of the first conversations that we had was that as great a hitter as he was, he wanted to win himself a Gold Glove at some point in time, and I was just the opposite. Notably a defensive player who wanted to win a Silver Slugger. And we were both able to achieve that, and I think that just simply comes from putting in the work, the blood, the sweat, and the tears. Thanks for the question, Eli. If you want to submit a question, head on over to cardinals.com/insider and click the Ask Ozzie tab. But for now, don't go anywhere. There's more Cardinal Insider after the break. July offers contenders a chance to present themselves. It's a pivotal point in the season. Here's the moments that stood out for the Cardinals in July.
Swing and a high fly ball left center. Sawinski on the run. It's gone! And opposite field, grand slam for Gorman on a 2-strike count. Fly ball well hit right right center field. At the warning track, Contreras ties it again. History for Helsley, his 31st save of the season.
Throw to second base is a good one, and they've got it by a mile. Third, Arenado, and the throw is in time to get out of it coming in. The dive, and he caught it.
Up the middle, base hit. Here comes Goldie. Cardinals take the lead, 5-4.
A 9-run first inning. How about that?
And unloads deep to left field. Mason Wynn has a leadoff homer. It's 1-0. There it is, number 2,000, Lance Lynn. Line to the right field. Burleson with a 2-strike bullet, and the Cardinals take the lead. Swing, high fly ball. Track wall. It's a walk-off winner.
That's it for this episode. You can always catch us online at cardinals.com/insider or watch full episodes on YouTube. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you right back here next week.